When you think of like high-level international political theory, you probably don't think of a localized study about hemp farmers in a single Thai
Yeah,
province.
definitely not. You'd expect, something from the UN or some massive global summit.
Right, exactly. But today we are looking at a stack of sources that completely shatters that expectation of where agricultural research belongs and, more importantly, what it can actually be used to do.
Yeah, it really forces us to re-examine the entire life cycle of information. Because, we tend to view academic research as having this very fixed destination.
Right.
You do the field work, you write the paper, you get it published, and, well, that is sort of the end of the road.
Yeah, but our mission for this deep dive is to trace a journey that proves the exact opposite. So to you listening, we aren't just summarizing an agricultural case study today.
No, not at all.
We are tracking how a very specific, like hyper-local piece of research transcended its original field. It became this cornerstone for teaching complex social and political theory to international scholars.
Which is just wild when you think about it.
It really is. It is a brilliant example of how ideas evolve. Okay, let's unpack this by starting right at the foundation.
The bedrock of this whole phenomenon.
Exactly. Everything we are discussing today is grounded in a specific document from 2026. It's a research paper titled Integration of the Hemp Value Chain into Local Creative Economy Policy, a case study of Mae Hong Son, Thailand.
Right.
And just to give full credit, it was authored by Jaramani, Boonrang, Saudanaranat, and Suvanaraksa. And this was published in the Journal of Development and Agricultural Economics, that's volume 18, issue 2, pages 18 through 28, with the specific DOI 10.5897 JDAE 2026.1469.
That's the one. And, when I look at the analysis of this case study, I always picture this incredible visual contrast.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, imagine the lush, rugged, beautifully muddy reality of the Mae Hong Son Mountains in northern Thailand. But then overlaid on top of that, you have these floating, highly abstract, perfectly structured, translucent academic manuscripts.
Oh, that is a perfect way to visualize it. Because the text we are analyzing is entirely about that intersection, how the raw physical reality of local agriculture literally collides with high-level academic abstraction.
Yeah, exactly.
Which brings us to the actual event that sparked our sources. General Suthas Jaramin, who is the lead author of that 2026 paper, was honored with an invitation by the Faculty of Social Sciences at Naresuan University.
Right, to give a series of special lectures based on his research.
Yeah, but the detail that instantly caught my eye, and I think will really jump out to you listening right now, is the audience.
The audience is key here.
He isn't presenting to local farmers or even Thai agricultural students. He is presenting to foreign PhD students from China.
Which is quite the pivot.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I am a bit confused by this. You have international scholars from China studying at the doctoral level at a Thai university in a social sciences faculty. Why are they looking at a provincial Thai farming study? It feels a bit like, I don't know, reading a tractor repair manual in a graduate philosophy class.
It's a totally valid point of confusion, but that exact paradox is the crux of our first source document. What's fascinating here is that this invitation reflects a massive leap in how the research is categorized.
Okay, how so?
Well, the analytical text specifically highlights two terms to explain this: academic value and impact.
Right.
When a faculty of social sciences chooses an agricultural text for foreign doctoral candidates, it proves the work has met this incredibly rigorous international standard of theoretical utility.
So it's about crossing a threshold. It is no longer just a localized farming manual. It is robust enough to be a high-level teaching tool.
Precisely. These Chinese PhD students are not there to learn optimal soil pH levels for planting seeds.
Right, they aren't farming.
Exactly. They are there to study complex social, economic, and developmental frameworks. The fact that this specific Thai case study is being used to teach them, well, it demonstrates that the research has evolved into what the text calls core knowledge.
Core knowledge. That phrasing implies a real foundation. It is the bedrock you build other disciplines on top of.
Yeah, it is the anchor point.
But if these students are treating an agricultural study as core knowledge, how exactly is it being taught? Because the sources map out this transition by giving us the specific dates and titles of the lectures.
They do, yeah.
The first one took place on August 19th, 2026, or 1908-69 in the Buddhist calendar. And the topic was Multicultural Development Theory, integration of the hemp value chain into local creative economy policy.
Which is a massive conceptual leap from just agriculture.
It really is. To understand the mechanics of this, I was thinking it's almost like taking a recipe for a really localized traditional dish and using it to teach a masterclass on global trade economics.
Oh, I love that analogy. That's perfect. Because the sources make it explicitly clear that the hemp value chain in this context isn't just about the physical biology of the plant.
Right.
Or even the basic arithmetic of, selling a crop at a market. Hemp is being utilized as a vehicle to understand a local creative economy within a multicultural framework.
So they aren't looking at crop yields at all. They are using the plant as a lens to look at the people growing it.
Exactly. Let's break down the mechanics of the region itself for a second.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Mae Hong Son is incredibly diverse. You have numerous ethnic groups, deep indigenous knowledge, and these really complex cross-border cultural influences.
Right, it's a very unique area.
So a creative economy there isn't just about mass-producing a raw material. It's about taking that raw material, the hemp, and applying traditional indigenous weeding techniques, local design, and cultural heritage to turn it into a high-value, unique product.
So the value isn't strictly in the plant itself. The value is in the culture applied to the plant.
Yes, that is exactly it. And to build that value chain, different cultural groups have to interact.
Ah, I see where this is going.
Right. You have the farmers growing the hemp, the indigenous artisans processing and designing it, the local entrepreneurs marketing it, and, well, the regional government trying to support it.
That's a lot of moving parts.
It is. So the Chinese PhD students are studying this specific province as a microcosm. They are looking at how traditional cultural practices meet modern market demands.
Wow, okay.
And how different ethnic groups collaborate or maybe experience friction over resource management and economic opportunity. They are learning multicultural development theory by seeing it applied in real time to a tangible, localized engine.
Which makes perfect sense when you lay it out like that. You just cannot have a thriving local creative economy without deeply understanding the web of human interactions driving it.
Right, you can't separate the two.
But here is the logical next step. If these students are learning how local culture shapes a market around this plant, what happens when that local, culturally driven market hits the rigid wall of national law?
Oh yeah, that is the big question.
Because historically, hemp is a highly regulated, politically sensitive crop. That friction has to go somewhere.
It does. It inevitably pushes the conversation out of the realm of pure culture and economics and directly into the realm of governance. You just cannot escape the political framework.
And that leads us directly into the second lecture detailed in our sources, which took place a couple weeks later on September 2, 2026.
And the title for this one is quite a mouthful.
It is heavy. The title is Political Development Theory in Contemporary Perspective, From Hemp to Public Value, Political Development, and Local Creative Economy. Here's where it gets really interesting.
It does, yeah.
How does a physical agricultural crop go from being a commodity in a creative economy to creating what the sources explicitly call public value in the context of political development?
Well, to understand the mechanism here, we have to look at what this second lecture is actively doing.
Okay.
In this framework, the original research is being transmitted at an even higher level of extraction. Hemp is now being analyzed strictly as a tool for, quote, driving society.
Driving society, how though? Like, how does a plant force political development?
Through that exact friction you mentioned earlier.
The regulations.
Right. When we talk about political development theory, we are talking about how institutions adapt, how new policies are formed, and how societies organize themselves to resolve conflicts and solve problems.
Okay, I follow.
Let's look at the mechanics. You have a local creative economy in Mae Hong Son that relies on hemp to lift its people out of poverty. But you also have state-level drug regulations and national laws that historically restrict that very crop.
Right, so the local economic need is basically on a collision course with national policy.
Exactly, and that collision forces a negotiation. The local farmers, the regional administrators, and the national politicians have to sit at the same table.
They have to figure it out.
Right. The local initiative forces the state to reevaluate and adapt its rules to accommodate and regulate this new economic driver safely.
Wow.
That process of adaptation, that changing of laws and institutional frameworks to support a local grassroots economy is the literal definition of political development.
Ah, I see. So the students are studying the friction. The plant just happens to be the catalyst that forced the government to develop a new policy.
Yes. And that brings us to the core concept of public value.
Right. The sources highlight that term.
Public value is created when policies, institutions, and local actions align to actually improve the broader social fabric. It's a difference between private profit, like a single farmer making money, and societal benefit, where a whole region's infrastructure, legal framework, and economic stability are improved.
So it's about lifting the whole system up.
Exactly. The original research paper documented how this played out in Mae Hong Son. And now it is being used to teach future international thought leaders how grassroots economic realities can shape and even mandate new political frameworks.
And I want to pause here just to be completely clear for you listening. When we discuss political development in this context, we are talking about it purely as an academic framework, maintaining absolute neutrality.
Yes, very important point.
The sources aren't endorsing any specific left-wing or right-wing political ideology here. We are simply tracing how the academic analysis of a plant's economic journey is being used to teach the objective mechanics of how societies adapt and govern themselves.
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the academic achievement is taking a highly complex, abstract idea, like how a state bureaucracy adapts to local needs, and making it visible, tangible, and understandable through the lens of a single hemp value chain.
Which brings us to a powerful and honestly quite provocative conclusion in the analytical text regarding the true value of research.
Yeah, this part is fascinating.
The author uses a specific Thai concept to frame this entire discussion, which translates to research on a shelf.
Right, exactly.
Now, I have to challenge the premise of the source text here. It seems to use this phrase almost pejoratively.
It does have a bit of a negative connotation in the text, yeah.
But isn't getting published in a peer-reviewed journal like the Journal of Development and Agricultural Economics the foundation of everything we've just discussed? I mean, without that highly specific, painstakingly peer-reviewed agricultural data, these broader political theories wouldn't have a leg to stand on.
That is entirely true.
Publishing takes years of grueling work. It's like buying a state-of-the-art kitchen appliance and leaving it in the box. Like, why disparage that massive achievement as just sitting on a shelf?
It's a very fair critique, but I don't think the source is disparaging the rigor of the research itself.
No. What are they getting at then?
Rather, it's highlighting the difference between potential energy and kinetic energy.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Getting published is a monumental achievement. It is the creation of the potential energy. But the author's central thesis is that publication alone is just the packaging. If a brilliant, rigorous study is printed in a journal and simply filed away in a university library where it's never applied to a real-world problem, it remains static.
It just sits there.
Exactly. It is research on a shelf. True academic value, according to the text, is only realized when that potential energy becomes kinetic.
When it's actually taken off the shelf and put to work, like taking the appliance out of the box and actually feeding people with it?
Exactly. The text explicitly states that for research to achieve its ultimate value, it must be taught, referenced, and critiqued.
Critiqued.
The transition we are witnessing from the static pages of that 2026 journal to the dynamic lecture halls of Narizwin University represents a profound metamorphosis.
It's a huge shift.
It is. The source describes this transformation using another vivid Thai phrase, which translates to living knowledge.
Living knowledge. I really like that.
It's a great term. Because by bringing this case study into a doctoral lecture hall, General Suthas Jarameni and the faculty are breathing kinetic life into the data.
They are waking it up.
They are inviting foreign PhD students to interrogate it. Those students from China are going to poke holes in the theory, debate its methodologies, and most importantly, test its limits by applying it to their own cultural and political contexts back home.
So the students are the catalyst. The knowledge is alive because it is interacting with new minds and being adapted to new environments.
Precisely. The research is no longer just a record of what happened in Mae Hong Son. It is an active, evolving tool for understanding global development.
That's incredible.
This raises an important question for anyone who creates, consumes, or analyzes information. What is the ultimate utility of the work we do?
Right.
Is the goal merely to be recognized, to be published, and to be neatly filed away? Or is the goal to be used, to be rigorously debated, and to actively shape the way other people navigate the world?
That is a brilliant way to frame it. And it perfectly summarizes the incredible journey of Jarameni and his team's 2026 hemp research.
It really does.
We started with an investigation into the local creative economy of a single mountainous province in Thailand. That hard data was successfully published in a prestigious agricultural journal, achieving its potential energy.
Yep.
But instead of letting it sit on a shelf, it was taken down, plugged into a new context, and utilized as the foundational text for teaching multicultural and political development theory to international scholars.
It's a powerful reminder that the most profound academic insights often stem from the most localized, grounded, and physical realities.
Yeah.
I mean, a plant in the dirt can explain the evolution of a government, provided we are willing to look at the data as a piece of a much larger puzzle.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? I think this deep dive proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that no piece of knowledge exists in a vacuum.
Absolutely not.
A seemingly niche topic can become an incredibly powerful instrument for societal change when viewed through the right lens and allowed to become living knowledge.
Well said.
And I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over as you go about your day. We talked a lot about those PhD students taking this living knowledge into the future, actively applying it to new problems.
Right.
Think about your own life, your own industry, your own expertise. If a regional study about hemp in one Thai province can transform into living knowledge that reshapes the academic frameworks of international scholars, what untapped research on a shelf exists in your world?
That's a great question.
What ideas, projects, or insights are just sitting there perfectly packaged and looking impressive, just waiting to be taken down, dusted off, and used to create real public value? Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep looking for those unexpected connections, and we will catch you next time.